Okay, I think we're live. I'm gonna start sorting out some stuff here, just for anyone who's watching the replay. Don't want to hang about too much, so dropped all the tracks in already, and I've got a rough volume balance. But that's it, and I'm not using my usual mixing template, so I'm going to do all of this from scratch. Just got the SSL UF8, which is a set of 8 faders. I'm realizing it would have been nice to have a second camera pointing at those. But and then I've also got the UFC1. So I'm kind of redoing my whole template. So you can watch some of that as well. That might be helpful. I'm going to be moving pretty quick. Like, this is actually just a mix that I need to do. I just thought I'd stream it. So yeah, if you have questions, drop them in the chat. But for the most part, I'm just going to be like powering through this. So let's have a bit of a listen. Let's listen to the client rough mix actually first. Let's have a listen to that. Give you an idea of the song. Let me know if that's too loud or too quiet. Okay, so production's great. This isn't going to be a super long mix. We just need to add there's just some basic like balancing stuff in the rough mix. So we'll spend quite a lot of time on the balance. Generally with electronic music, that's where I'm spending a lot of the time anyway, because it's not like we're trying to tame and EQ a bunch of recordings. Like all the samples sound pretty good, so there's just a little bit of problem solving, lots of balancing, lots of volume automation, and then I think we're probably going to spend a lot of time on just creating the front to back space with reverb, delays, that kind of stuff. I don't think there's going to be much EQ or that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's dive right in. So we'll mute the rough mix and let's just continue balancing this part of the song. I'm going to be using my UF8. It might be cool. Well, yeah, I need another camera. That'd be pretty cool. So you won't be able to see what I'm doing here, but you'll be able to see on screen what's happening. So those, let's get plug surge going. I want to bring the kick up there. Those, kind of like, those percussive elements out to the side, I think are a little bit too loud. So let's put this on mid side. And you just can use BX solo. Plug search just messed up there. Okay, we'll have to do it manually. So it's not quite doing what I want either. Trying to just kind of turn the sides down. But let's see if we can just pull it out instead. No, they're in the center channel as well. So I wonder if we can just EQ them out in general. So this is the only thing with getting stuff bussed to a stereo bus is you obviously have a lot less control. Where's everyone watching from, by the way? We've got quite a few people here. Let me know where you're watching from. So let's see. And all I'm doing here is I'm just diving in and solving problems. And this is related to the volume balance. I don't like the balance internally of this. So even though I'm doing like more complicated processing here, it's still just volume balance. We're still thinking about that. Let's try and isolate the kick instead. We'll save buses 1 through 10. So if we just try and get the kick, and then we can just bring instead of bringing everything else down, we could just bring the kick up. So let's do this pre-fader, because we're just trying to create kind of a kick on its own channel. Doing some bass in here. Had a thought. Let me you're gonna see some kind of inception here a little bit, but I could use this webcam potentially to show you guys what I'm doing down here. Webcam. Oh, that's weird. Okay, never mind. For some reason it doesn't like that. Okay, that's not going to work. We'll just keep doing it as we are. So now I'm going to reverse what I did on there. In fact, let's just copy that over. Flip it. So it's 226. We could try 48 as well. Although we probably want a bit of a crossover. this isn't going to be perfect. I could obsess over it, but it doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, I thought that'd work. So this is pre-fader. But what we'll have to do instead is do 2 sends. And this can be our drums high. And then we'll move this to here. Pre-fader. So now I can pull this fader down, and I've got the 2 separate. Oh, I must have copied the wrong one. So let's just do 200. It's annoying because I still, I mean, at this point, I could go back to the artist and say, "Hey, can I have that separate?" But it could be a sample, so they might not actually have it. It might not be a sample that they built out. It could be a stereo drum sample. But let's do the same thing again here, where we just pull out those. I want to get the snare now a little bit more isolated. We need the proper multiband for this. Okay, so now I'm only catching it. It's hard to replicate that. That's what I'm trying to lower. They're too high in the mix, in my opinion. And now I'm only catching those, but We just need to pull the ratio up. Yeah, it's not doing much. It's helping. So let's just check that that's not like massively messing with the tone. And then the output here is actually meant to be drums. So it is making the snare sound a little bit more top-endy because we're losing some of the low end of the snare. So I might try bringing the filter up a little bit more so we get more of the snare. Okay, I think that's going to have to do. Everyone following? This is very specific, but that's what we got to do. Again, I'm still primarily focused on balance, but these are just poking out a little bit too much in the upper mid-range. To the snare. I find when I'm working with electronic music, I use a lot more just like digital tools. So I'm not reaching for like, if I'm EQing stuff, I'm not necessarily reaching for like the SSL console and stuff like that. It's just a lot more surgical because everything kind of sounds good. Like a lot of the quality is dictated by the sample selection, sound design. So instead we're just like fixing. know this track needs more high end in general. If we just check a couple of references quickly. Yeah, and that bass is getting a bit cloudy. So I'm still like, the main thing I'm thinking about is volume automation, but I'm also just solving problems when they come to my attention. So all the top end's going to come from the drums because there's no vocals. And the synths are just all mid-range, so I'm going to add some top end to the drums. Yeah, that's done a lot to get that closer. And then the goal isn't for everything to be balanced when we're balancing, funnily enough, despite the term. It's really to pull attention to certain things. So if anything, a good balance is imbalanced, because musically we want to pull the listener's attention to the things that matter. So I'm going to bring down that kind of high synth part, which is just kind of textural. Bring more to this kind of sliding synth thing. Use that to kind of counterbalance. Try another section, because this is one of those where, yeah, every section is kind of different. This is, I would call this the chorus, but let's, yeah, as we continue to fine tune the balance. We've got these kind of two loops together. Kind of got the same problem again with this, where I'd like to bring down some of that percussion. Doing a lot of mid-side processing in this mix so far, just because we've got a lot of stereo loops, and that's often the case with electronic music with a lot of samples. This is normally more of like a mastering thing, but because we're working on a stereo track, we're having to, shape the mid and the side separately. But again, I'm just leading with problem solving. I'm hearing things, problems I want to solve, and then it's just obvious that I need to use mid-side processing. I'm not thinking, how do I use mid-side processing in this mix? That's a really cool technique. Instead, it's like, what are the problems? How do I solve them? Oh, I'm going to need some mid-side stuff. Check the rough mix here and see how he has it balanced. Weird. So here it's kind of the opposite. I quite like the side parts. But that kind of reversed, like a reversed snare or something. Whereas I like the sound of the snare in this. I like the rhythm in this. Yeah, that feels like it's just got a little bit more kind of front to back. lot of these samples are a little bit harsh in the upper mid range, and then also kind of lacking that shimmer in the very top end. Okay, let's try another section. You all still with me? Horrible phase issue. Yeah, I haven't even got to that yet. I mean, we'll for sure get there. How did you make it so wide? Yeah, I mean, a lot of these are samples. Well, all the drums are samples. Here, let's have a listen. Let's find where it is. I'll get that ready, and then also hold on. Not too bad. Yeah, we're losing a lot of that. Get those. Yeah, I'll come back to that and spend a little bit more time on that, but for now let's just keep doing the balance. Yeah, soothe or dynamic EQ for sure. I mean, I've been using a lot of dynamic EQ on the sides, but yeah, soothe could work too for sure. Get these transitions right. Yeah, we could do a bit of soothe. I normally just, unless it's really bad, I find I use soothe a lot more on like acoustic instruments because they're more complex tonally. If it's really bad, I'll use soothe. But a lot of the time, if it's just a bit harsh, like just grab an EQ, it's going to use less processing power. It's fine. It does the job. This is one of those where Gullfoss would probably do a really good job. Just like if I wanted to like mix this really quick, just whack Gullfoss on everything. Let's give it a go on some of the drums. yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to think primarily about a volume balance, but for sure, the main problem that keeps coming up is either poor balances within the samples or just harshness. Hold on. That should be. That's already done a pretty good job of this. Interesting. Changing the tone quite a lot. I quite like the. It's removing a lot of the. It's kind of like this lower mid-range honk. That I quite like. And Gullfoss was getting rid of a lot of that. It's like in isolation, it sounds cleaner. In the context of the track, though, personally, I kind of like it. I think we could try just like a very light application. Let's keep. I'm gonna ride this a bit, I think. work if that like fades in a little bit more. Hit Z there, by the way, super handy key for Logic, just for like zooming around. If you don't have anything selected, it will just fit the whole track height wise and width wise. Still not happy with that loop. I think if it comes in with the da 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 a little bit louder, it'll give a bit more energy. It could be cool if it's got like a bit of a filter on it. Something like that. Kind of a production production decision, but let's give it a go. Let's compare. Yeah, it just makes it, gives more energy going into that chorus. Cool. Let's keep looking. Still not happy with that. See what Goldfuss does. Just gonna check. I'm gonna go back to like the original. Okay, no, I definitely prefer. Try bringing the crossover up even more. Okay, that's something we can play around with. By the way, I'm not gainstaging because it's fine. as long as your master bus isn't clipping when you did the down to 16, it doesn't matter if you're clipping anywhere. If I started loading up a bunch of analog modeling plugins, then maybe it'd be an issue. A lot of them though, the input range is so variable that you can just adjust it there. So yeah, I'm not worried about that. By the way, I haven't even said the best thing about this. I'm doing a video called $10 versus $1,000 mix. I've already hired 2 other engineers to mix this track, and I haven't heard those mixes yet. One was $300, $400. Another was $1,000, and I'm going to hire someone else to do it for $10, and then I'm also mixing it, and I'm going to record a video where I listen through. So it's going to be so interesting to hear the difference between all of those. So definitely keep an eye out for that video. Yeah, I'm super curious to see. I won't say who it is, who the $1,000 mix was. Really, really good engineer though. I'm really so curious to see what they did with this. But let's keep going. Check a couple of references, see how we're doing low end wise on that section. That's definitely this is also another cool thing I haven't mentioned. This is the first time I'm doing a mix on my new monitors. Got brand new monitors. That's another video that's coming up. Dutch and Dutch 8Cs previously, for the last decade or so, I've been using the Yamaha HS ATMs, which are like the HS8s. The next kind of iteration of that is the HS8. So yeah, this is so different mixing on these monitors as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how this translates outside of here. So far, they're great. I love them. So that snare is a little bit pokey. So it's like a combination of the two, because this. Yeah, we'll come back to that. I'm not even thinking too much about saturation yet. I'm still thinking mostly in terms of like overall volume balance. We'll for sure do some clipping, some saturation in order to get this like loud without having to apply a bunch of limiting. But I'm still really just thinking about volume balance and any like volume balance and like really obvious problems. As I'm going through the volume balance, that it would be so annoying to not address those problems that I'm going to like do them quickly. Otherwise, I'm still just thinking volume at this point. Let's have a listen through. So that sounds weird to me now. These transitions. Bit all over the place. Let's see, I'm not sure if they're meant to be panned. Let's listen to the rough. No. That could be kind of cool. No, I think it's better if it opens up into the chorus. It's just a lot going on. I wonder if filter could work on that as well. Just check, because I think that should be bypassed. Yeesh. I think this could do. Oh, it's already got soothe on it. It does have some stereo movement there. Vox out of tune. Yeah, it's a sample. So I'm not gonna do too much with that. It's not meant to be perfectly in tune. That hit needs to come down. It was just really poking out. Let's go back a bit for some perspective. Weird. I heard an earlier version of this song with a completely different transition that I'm much preferred. But I'll just have to stick with this. It's a little bit too quiet. We'll come back to that. That's fine for now. I'm just going to focus on the snare again because that drum loop, because I just realised I muted these because it just sounded odd, like over processed, that split processing. So now that I've kind of got used to that, let's see how this compares. Yeah, it's not really working. So let's see the crossovers. 100. So to be fair, this is up at 535. What happens if I bring that up there? I think I'm just going to try working with that. This is going to be key here, I think. This is where I'm going to start playing around with saturation a little bit, because that could help remove some harshness and warm things up at the same time. Something that is really good actually whenever I want to really kind of recover something and reshape it. I haven't used it in a while. No, it's not Silica. Which one is it? I think it's Bless. Which seems to crash. yeah, that's definitely helping. Let's try Sound Toys, get a little bit more control over the tone. Everyone still with me? We've got Trumpet Dad. What's up, Joseph? Let's see. It's getting somewhere. We'll keep circling back to that. George or Jorge, that whistle synth is a little loud in the track balance, even though it must be prime. Yeah, I like it though. I think too loud. I think there as well. I could probably bring down the moved all of them, which I didn't want to do. Yep. I have to do this in a separate one. So now I'm trying to bring down the snare a little bit. We might actually be able to do this just with Pro Q3. The snare's a little bit loud. And again, the only way I can actually bring it down is by doing something like this. That's annoying when plug search doesn't always work great. Might need to rescan. Okay, I'm just gonna do a quick check to the rough. And that needs to go straight to the stereo. Oh, it is. Cool. All right, let's have a quick break. Back in 5 minutes at 10:02. Just gonna rest my ears for 5 minutes, quick toilet break, and then we'll carry on. See you in 5. All right. Okay. Let's crack on. No, definitely don't want to exit OBS. Okay. Got a kombucha. It's not a beer, just to clarify. It is still pretty early in the morning here. So the artist is called Spencer Handley, and the track is called Olua. It's not released yet. And I don't think this artist has a lot of stuff released just yet. So this is somewhat of a bit of an exclusive. All right, where were we? Let's just check this transition. Okay, so I think we've solved a lot of the major problems. We'll come back to this drum loop. So now I want to give it more oomph. I think we need some compression, some transient shaping, some saturation. And it's going to be a lot on these drums. Let's try just some straight up like compression. And then later on we can try some maybe some like transient shaping. Oh, that's annoying. I was having an issue with this before. Okay, let's not use the UA stuff. Let's just use Novadrum. I'm actually going to try this in parallel as well. We'll set up another another bus on this one. You know what? Let's get a little bit more attack on these first on the actual channel itself, and then we'll try some parallel. Is that being annoying? So you can hear what's going on. So I'm trying to just give the kickiness there a little bit more of a transient, really, just poke out a little bit more. Let's try. I really don't use transient shapers that often, but I think this is a situation where it might be necessary. Can't even remember what it's called. Although I just thought of something else that might help. Let's try it. Not sure if that's going to work. Damn it. Plug search. There it is. Okay, now let's try some crushed parallel drums. Make sure these are going to the same drum bus. So yeah, this might work better than the transient shaper. You can really hear that. Kind of a metallic. Where's that reverb as well? Okay, I have a feeling we're going to spend the majority of our time here on this one drum loop just because it's so important, because it's like the first hit, it's like the first loop, proper loop that comes in. There's a lot of problems, kind of balance problems with it. I'm going to try adding a little bit more low end here as well. So if we listen to the references, for example, I don't know how we ended up with so many. Yeah, to be fair, we don't want too much low end out of the bass. The kick, sorry. It's all coming from this bass. And this parallel channel, it's definitely adding some energy, but it's bringing up that reverb. The annoying thing with parallel processing as well is it's quite hard to volume match. You can do it obviously, but not easily. So often just making things louder. I actually prefer it without. Just even while I'm here, I'm just going to bring up that first hit to give it a bit more oomph coming into this first chorus. Sample. Okay, so that I actually want to bring down, I think. It's this one. think that's like my favorite part of the whole track. Let's give this a bit more of a kick coming back in as well. Probably just bring this up. Let's bring that. That whole thing can come down. Teus irmãos. Teus irmãos. Would it be really bad of me to add in another snare sample? Give it a try. Let's just see. I'll do this on a yet another send. Let's create a track for that. Call this snare. Also do pre-fader. And this time I'm going to use Slate Trigger. And see if I can isolate just the snare. I think there is a way to do a sidechain on this, but to be honest, I'll find it easier if I just chuck in an EQ before this. Let's isolate the snare as much as possible. And use that as a trigger. Okay, let's try. This might be tricky. Just grab anything for now, just to kind of tune it in. So it should just be on the 2 and the 4. Is that right? Okay. All right. I have a lot. I normally only do layering like this for like rock tracks. So I don't think I have any snares that are. I mean, this is kind of like a. I just want to give it a bit more body. So let's just find something, anything. Could work. That one's got a bit too much ring to it. This is closer. It's a little bit too much ring. Could gate it. Let's try. That's better. It's so obvious. Let's just try no, that didn't work. I'm gonna try just something like this. Just gonna try EQing it on the same channel. interestingly, I'm almost trying to do the opposite of this. So this is kind of bringing down the... That is bringing down the whole snare a little bit. Kind of doing what I want, but it doesn't sound very musical. It's making it sound a bit hollow. So let's try something a little bit. Let's try like a 4KB. It's just a nice channel strip with a decent EQ. Any questions about this? I feel like, yeah, this has just been a... This whole mix has basically been this drum sample. Need some context. I think that's better. I prefer getting rid of Bliss. I mean, this was adding quite a lot of saturation. So yeah, this is really interesting because this is one of those cases where it's just like constantly trying different things, going back and forth, not being afraid to undo moves you did earlier. Yeah, tricky one. Let's I think at this point we can maybe look at either some spatial processing. if I can see. Try split EQ instead of smack attack. Because I think that was adding, smack attack was adding some nice aggression to the kick, but it was making the snare a little bit too pokey. So split EQ is basically a equalizer where you can EQ the transient and the sustain separately. And then you can also just turn up the transient, which is effectively like a transient shaper. You can't control like the length of it like you can with smack attack, but it gives me a little bit more control. I don't think there's a way on this I can like apply side chains and stuff like that. So let's see if we can do it on this instead. Damn it. Oh, I can't wait until Control Undo changes plugin moves. And that was getting somewhere. I'm going to change the master out on this. Yeah, it's not really doing what I want it to. I'm to try a little bit of just mixed bus compression. I've been doing less and less of that recently, and just leaving that to the mastering phase. But here, I just want to add more energy in general. So I've set up a separate channel so that this isn't affecting my reference channels here. And we'll just go SSL. Adding a bit more movement. Okay, let's move on. Okay. I'm going to start down in some space here, and then I think we can get to finishing touches on like kind of automation and stuff. I'm going to do a little bit more dynamic processing first. So I recently got this. I'm going to give this a go. Okay, no, that's not going to be helpful here. I normally use the Softube clipper, but there's been a couple that I wanted to check out recently. One was K-Clip. The other one was, what was it? Clip. Standard Clip. These are more for mastering. Yeah, it's just so. I'll show you mastering this as well, but for now I'm just going to use the. Where is it? Softube. Not Softube. Where is it? That's it. I'm trying to be careful that I'm not counteracting what I did with the smack attack, because I'm trying to bring out more transients, but I also don't want that to affect the loudness. bass as well. Make sure I'm not adding any distortion here. So this one, I'm actually going to use standard clip for this. Oh, god damn it, plug search. So annoying. Don't know why it does that. Let's try a quick rescan. It's like the worst possible plugin that it could just randomly load. Yep, maybe that'll help. I've literally never used this before, so I'm kind of figuring it out. Yeah, there you go. That's what we're trying to avoid. Catch some of these peaks. I'm also going to put a limiter on here as well. Same on the drums. Let's go for, we'll choose Prowl. And this is handy because you've got this one-to-one feature, so it's quite useful for just clipping individual instruments. Add in a little bit of distortion. Okay, we'll do the same on drums. Why that's Make sure that's not removing too much of the aggression. So you should be doing it on the bus. Should have done it on the channel, really. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna have to do this on the channel. That keeps happening as well. It's weird. I'll try and copy it. Doom thinks it's Decapitator. Never had that before. Why does it think it's Decapitator? To actually gain stage a little bit going into this. So this is where, yeah, gain staging starts to become more important. Tidy this up a bit. Ron said that solo feature on the L2 is great for listening to the parts you're lopping off. Yeah, I never really used that. But it'd be interesting to see. You see, we're not losing much. I'm thinking more about mastering, and this is why we teach mastering first. This is why our whole methodology, when people come to be mentored by us, is we teach them mastering first. We spend 8 weeks on mastering, and then we spend 8 weeks on mixing, and then 8 weeks on production. And the reason is you can think about the whole process holistically. So I'm already thinking about mastering while I'm mixing. And trying to cut off a lot of the transients so that I can bring up the overall volume a lot more in the mastering stage without necessarily sacrificing dynamic range. So I'm like already thinking about that. So yeah, this is quite technical. Like the drums, it's not like when you've got a live drum kit where you need to like tame them with compression because it's samples. the volume is already consistent. So instead, it's just more about like transient management to make sure that, I've added some transient, I've enhanced the transients a little bit with Smack Attack, but then I'm also using that clipper, and I should move that as well. I shouldn't have put that on there. That was a mistake. The clipper also to kind of like start to cut off some of those transients to make sure we haven't gone too far, and it will still sound different. Like we've changed the shape of the transients, but then we've clipped them. That doesn't kind of negate it. It's not like we added more transient and then we're taking it away. It's a little bit more nuanced than that, in that like with Smack Attack, we're actually like changing the shape of the transient slightly as well. So it is going to sound slightly different. But let's also hone that in. I never should have done that on the bus in the first place. And let's actually, annoyingly, this is just not letting me move plugins. It's been really weird. Okay, it did that time. What is happening? Oh, I still go on solo. That'll be why. Okay, let's just check, see how that sounds. That whole track can actually come up a bit now, and now that we've got some kind of limiting on there that's dependent on gain, and also already added some volume automation, I'm just going to increase the volume with a bit of gain instead. add a little bit of saturation as well. Okay, so I'm going to have to wrap this up in a sec, and we'll continue this maybe tomorrow. Maybe, let's have a look. Yeah, I'll probably finish this and then I can always do another stream. Let me know if you guys want to see the rest of this. Drop a comment in the chat if you want to see the rest of this mix. I mean, we're most of the way there. It's just spatial processing and more kind of transient management. A little bit of saturation on here. I'll finish with that. And then, yeah, let me know if you guys want to see more. Phase, I wonder if it could be something to do with the stream. I'm not hearing anything too off. I think this I am going to put on the drum bus. It's a lot less level dependent. So I can save some time and just apply it to all of them at once. So this next drum part. So it's pretty subtle. I don't want to do so much that the kick starts to audibly distort. Oh, next little section where it widens. Do you mean here? All right, we'll leave it there. So yeah, a few of you want to see more, so I'll just keep streaming. Just keep an eye on the channel. Basically, probably. Let's have a look. I might do an hour this afternoon, and then I can finish it off tomorrow morning. So I'll stream it tomorrow morning. Probably a similar time. I'll probably start at around, maybe earlier, to be honest. But morning UK time. And if I do anything else today, I'll kind of walk you guys through it and show you what I did. And then I'll leave spatial processing tomorrow, because I think that's going to be really big on this. Like, it's probably going to take an hour just to do reverbs, delays, that kind of stuff. And then it might be another hour of like finishing touches. And I'm sure after I have a long rest here and come back, I'll notice a bunch of issues. But just quickly, I'm just going to do a quick comparison and see how this is sounding compared to the rough mix from the client. So let's start with the rough mix. I mean, first of all, it's distorted. And then for comparison. So we're heading in the right direction. The goal is always a high fidelity version of the rough mix. Like, you still have the character, and I mean, the rough mix is like how they want it to sound. It's their vision for the song. You just want to create a high fidelity version. As we go through, a really big part of that is going to be that front spec space with reverb. It's going to make a huge difference. Then I think it's going to be a lot more musical thinking about the journey of the song and making sure that it's like impacting at the right places. And we're adding to the, like, enhancing the various kind of drops, for want of a better word, and like making sure as we transition from chorus into verse that it feels like there's movement and progression, that kind of stuff, which is mostly just going to be volume automation, more volume automation, and probably some effect automation. After that, it'll be finishing touches, and then I'll master this as well. So yeah, we'll come back tomorrow morning. To be honest, it could be as early as like 6 a.m. Well, probably not 6 a.m., maybe 7 a.m. UK time. It might be a bit later, around like 9 again. It kind of depends. So either way, keep an eye on the channel. I'll try and, once I know for sure, I'll create a live stream, schedule a live stream to start at a specific time. So just keep an eye on the channel for that. I'll do that today, and then you know what time I'm going to start tomorrow. But awesome. Thanks, guys. Great to have you here with me. And yeah, hope that was helpful. It would be really good, actually, if you just let me know in the comments what was helpful about this. What was like the most helpful thing that you picked up today? Because that's really helps me know, okay, what can I spend more time on? What can I spend less time on? So let me know what was the most helpful thing. And Mike, correct. So that's 9 a.m. UK time. But yeah, it'll be tomorrow morning UK time, but I'll put it on the channel later today. I'll schedule it as a live event so that you can actually see in advance. So just keep an eye on the channel. So yeah, what was most helpful? Bonus question: what's not helpful? What's the least helpful stuff? And it's probably stuff that you might already know, that you've covered before, that I've covered before. So yeah, let me know in the comments. What's the most helpful thing? Bonus question, if you want to. What's not very helpful? And while I know there's a bit of a lag, so while we're doing that, I will figure out what's going on with Connect. Yeah, I'll do this off screen. All right, guys, leave a comment. Appreciate it. See you again tomorrow.